Welcome back to the workshop. It's time for another Nifty Tools. This is a Sears 107-16 block plane. Belonged to my father. He said it was just in a toolbox with some other tools that he had as a kid. Just kind of a basic woodworking set. He thought it was kind of a junk plane. Well, maybe it was, but it seems pretty good to me. I went ahead and did some work on it. When I got it, the blade was completely corroded and some of the other parts didn't work. It was kind of loose in there. It does say made in the US on the front, and it's got a wooden knob in the front, and otherwise it looks like it was painted black at one point. Still a little black up here. The underside really roughed up, but it's still smooth, so I don't think I'll do much to it. I don't have any good before pictures. If I do, I'll show him here. But I went ahead and did a little work to it. I'm not a major tool restoration person. I mean, I can do tool conservation professionally, but I'm not one of these people that just can take a tool and make it look like it came out of the box. I want things to be functional, not necessarily pretty. And so for me, this is functional and it becomes part of my tools. So I'll show you what I did, and stay tuned. So some of the work that I did on it, starting with the blade was very corroded, full of rust, both sides. So I placed this in some Evaporust, a bath of Evaporust, overnight, and then took it out the next day, rinsed it off with water, and it looked a lot better. If you had seen a short of me this past week doing some sharpening, it was for this blade. I got pretty sharp. So not sharp enough to cut paper, but sharp enough for my needs. So it really took a lot of the darkness out of the blade. Next thing, worked on the bed. Now I didn't change any of the bed of this. It's still pretty scraped up, but it's smooth. And so that's all that matters to me. Cleaned up a little bit of the metal with some mineral spirits, some low odor mineral spirits. I did remove the knob. The screw came right out. Screw's got some corrosion on the end, and I just left that. Again, I want this to be functional, not pretty. So I took the knob off. I cleaned it off with some low odor mineral spirits, and then I waxed it with some Renaissance wax, stuff that I used as a museum conservator. Not a promotion, just it works. And I was able to get a small enough container on Amazon that will last me for many projects. I mean, I bought this back when I worked on my armillary, and that was years ago when I worked on that. So I used that to kind of wax this up, get this a little protected, and put it back on. So it's back in place. The last thing that needed to be done was this. The wheel on this would not move. And so what I did was I put some of this thread cutting oil. It's really for tap and die sets, but it works great for stuff like this as well. Anything that you've got that's really tight. I've used it on chandelier, the cores of chandeliers where bolts were too tight. I put it in there. I've used it in a lot of things. And so it really loosens it up without leaving the gummy after effects that you might get with WD-40 or something like that. So that was able to get this to move, and that was because I need this to move to be able to press the blade down, to press it in place. Now, for getting this back together, put the blade back on, down to a spot. It doesn't have to be exactly where it is. You can always get that finer in later. This slips under. There we go. Slips under that, and then we can start tightening it down. You'll want to check, see where the blade is. That's about where I want it. Just sharpen that down. So I'm just tightening the wheel. Yeah, that's on there. So now we'll give it a little try on this piece of wood. Tunes up pretty well. And if you have to adjust it, just move the wheel and you can adjust the blade wherever you would like it. And so that's my Sears 10716 plane, block plane, that I got from my dad. Thanks for watching.